My name is Glenn Reyes. I'm a freelance front-end engineer, mostly working with stuff like React and GraphQL, and I also love open source. I co-organize React Vienna meetups, and yeah, play a lot of guitar and love music, Jamaican music.
Jumping right into what you do, what got you into development?
Well, the first website I ever built in my life was at around the age of, I think, maybe 12 or 13, because at that time I was like a lot of playing Counter-Strike and also a lot of into Dragon Balls, and I just wanted to have like a team page for because I had a team in the Counter-Strike, and I wanted to have like a team page where we just put all the results of all the games that we have, because we were playing it and real like in leagues and all. And yeah, I just then started like to write my first tables type websites, and this is the first time where I got into like HTML and CSS and all this stuff. And professionally, like in work, I think it was around 2011 or something, where I just wrote more JavaScript and all this stuff. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, JavaScript's fun. I want to ask you about ReactJS versus AngularJS, because people seem kind of polarized on it. How do you feel? What's your take on that? Is ReactJS better, or is AngularJS the better?
I haven't gotten like much time to compare both, but I feel pretty comfortable with React right now since then. So.
Okay. So with React, I'm not sure exactly how long you've been involved doing development in ReactJS, but where do you see this technology like in the next 5 years? Do you feel like is there a lot of development going on in perfecting it, or do you feel like it's kind of stagnant, or do you feel like people are going to be using it in the next 5 years or 10 years?
Where I see React in the future, maybe in 5 years, I have watched a couple of like really nice talks, and I believe that React can be, or React will embrace more, or get more into the DOM. I think like it's getting more internal and more low level, and people maybe building more high level stuff around React. So yeah.
Okay, nice, very nice. And something a little more personal. What drives you as an individual? I mean, we talked about like what got you into this space, but what keeps you going?
Well, it's a good question though. Well, first there is a meetup that we are organizing here locally. So we gotta meet up like once in a month and talk to each other, talking about new stuff. And also, I'm also doing contracting with different clients. So here I do a lot of things in GraphQL, and there's a lot of challenges that I'm facing every day between React and GraphQL, and also yeah, all the new stuff that is coming around, and things that needs to be solved, and there are still unsolved yet. There's like a lot of things that I can dive into and build and all the stuff. So.
Do you like looking for creative solutions to problems, or more straightforward, when it comes to, because there's always issues to be solved, especially when software development is basically just solving problems or creating them.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you like to take more creative liberty with your solutions, or do you try to be like as simple as possible?
Yeah, when it comes to like solving solutions, I'm more like, at the moment, I'm more like the minimalist, like doing it very simple, as simple as possible, and as solid, as pragmatic as possible. There are times where I find like really nice solutions on open source, and most of the times it's more than just what I need, and then I end up like doing it myself and open sourcing myself, make it a little bit simpler and
I know in a lot of different fields, especially so I'm really into like blockchain and all this cryptocurrency. So I know in my respective field there are a lot of like internal conflict or like big issues that people outside of the field wouldn't necessarily realize or know about. Do you feel like in the space that you're in, there are like really important issues that people outside of your industry wouldn't be aware of? Is there like an ongoing battle somewhere?
probably, yeah. I mean, we have also a lot of people that are not just doing React and all this stuff. Also, there might be people that are doing React and Angular at once, or even like people that are totally in the crypto industry and just got into React sometimes. And we talk to each other, and it's definitely something where you can just learn a lot of things from other folks. We even have like a lot of people actually from are like learning or like working with Reason, which is like a very popular niche at the moment in the React ecosystem also. And we are talking to different people like each other and just sharing knowledge, and it's very interesting to see also other like patterns or approaches from different perspectives.
Mm-hmm. So no one's arguing which programming language you should be using?
Yeah, I mean, not really. It's just up to you, and I'm also fine with when I'm talking to Angular developers. I'm fine with when the framework works for them. Mm-hmm. So it's just great like to yeah, not fist fighting with each other, but learning from each other, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, that's great. That's probably better than arguing amongst yourselves.
Yeah, totally. I mean, arguing is also maybe good because it starts discussions, like it promotes having discussions, but also, yeah, I mean, it's also great to be able to talk to everybody without getting personally hurt or something or emotionally hurt.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, a little debate is good. So if someone wanted to get into what you do, or for example, I know, so you talked about doing freelancing, right?
Right.
I know that's something that a lot of people kind of want to get into, especially as being a developer or doing something where you have a very solid skill set that people respect, and it's very concrete field. So a lot of people want to get into freelancing, but they're not really sure how. What kind of advice would you give someone who wanted to start doing what you do?
Well, I can maybe tell a little story about how it happened to me. It was about 2 years ago, where I was working for a big news publishing company called Styria here in Austria, and I was there working for an R&D team. Mm-hmm. And there was basically a team where I could do everything I want. Like, and at that time I actually planned to learn React and a little bit of GraphQL. Mm-hmm. The team was all good and stuff and fine. The projects were mediocre, but it was never leading to something that we could like finish. For example, mm-hmm. We had a project that we built for something, and we were never at a stage where we call, yeah, it's finished, it's done now, it's something that we can show off now. And during that time, I was not super happy about the position, but I decided by almost of the end of the year to quit, and didn't know what to do next for 2017. So I just quit like three months before the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I still didn't know what to do, and I was like talking to other companies, like recruiting and all stuff. And I got a lot of opportunities, but still, I didn't want to go back like to 9 to 5, office hours, and I realized I wanted to work more remotely. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to work more like with international clients, and I decided it was a very hard decision though, because you go from a very secure job to a very unsecure freelancing like position,
Yeah.
and I still decided somehow to get out of my comfort zone, to risk actually, and I decided to do freelancing at that time.
Hmm.
And I had like around like 1 or 2 months where I decided to do that, but I still didn't have any like leads to do for the next year. So after the 2 months, I finally got a client that would be interested to having me to work to do some work for them. It was great. It was a company from, I was actually an agency from Zurich, Switzerland, and yeah, I just had a great opportunity, great time to get into freelancing and get started. And yeah, that was one kind of my experience. And so far, as a freelancer, I'm very happy, like, because you have all, you're all independent. You have all the freedom, and you can work wherever you want, wherever you are. And yeah, so far so happy though.
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to add about yourself or what you do?
Well, yeah, I mean, I also speak at conferences. The last conference that I spoke at was JS Poland, which was in Warsaw.
Okay.
I also gonna speak at Frontend Connect, which is also in Warsaw. Uh, yeah, I also do like doing these kind of stuffs, and yeah, I mean, also I'm very trying to be active in the whole communities and all.